else but that.
Oh, it was with the added stuff. Okay, good.
Then I could hear
I'm going to call to order the 7 o'clock regular board meeting for December 13th, 2022. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sounds good with the group, right?
Yeah. Our mission statement is learning for life. The vision statement is Southgate Community Schools, the best choice for students and parents. I'll go ahead and entertain a motion on the agenda.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Okay, I have a motion by Dr. Pomponio. Is there support?
Support.
Is that Mr. Sage? Support by Mr. Sage. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we have an agenda. The first thing we're going to do is presentations. North Point IB Elementary.
Yes, as the Board of Education and our community is aware, this year we started a new program at North Point, reopening the school as an International Baccalaureate Primary Years program. And I did ask our principal, Mrs. Jaziak, to provide us with an update on how things are going at North Point. You will find in your blue folder that she's given you some information. I do know that they are going to do a PowerPoint, so we're going to have the board come on and take a seat down during this presentation.
So because it's right on our head.
Right, get off the stage.
Watch your step over here.
As I get that up, thank you so much, everybody, for coming tonight. Thank you to the board for having us. We are super excited to share. It's been 3.5 months of us building. This is just a tiny portion of the family that we've built this year, which is really cool, and I'm so grateful for them to come here and support us. And for all of you, thank you for lending an ear. I know you're here for awards and something bigger, but I guarantee you probably have some family members or cousins or neighbors that aspire to be sitting in the seats that you are today, so our program might be what's really, really great for them, so keep that in mind. Go ahead, Ken. All right, so one of the biggest things, we kind of surveyed our families and our kids when we got the opportunity to speak to everybody tonight, and one of the greatest things that they thought we do differently were these mini exhibition nights. So the community and families are able to come in and we share with them what we've been doing in school. So every Thursday, the last Thursday of each month from 5:30 to 7:30, you can all come in and see what we're doing. We kind of built it up a little bit. So in September, we had just an inquiry night where the students were able to experience and show their families the inquiry cycle that we use as we're learning. And then in October, we did a literacy night and worked through the learner profile traits that we'll talk about in a little bit. And then last Thursday, we had one of the most phenomenal, it was our actual first mini exhibition night. In the IB, you do units of inquiry in each grade level under the 6 transdisciplinary themes. So we actually wrote our first 6-week unit, and each classroom displayed and showed and had the opportunity to give their families and their parents a view of, through the lens of what they do each day as a North Point Titan. So we're going to go into that a little bit, but these nights are to allow our families and community members just to experience this different way of teaching and learning that we're all kind of figuring out right now as an IB school. So our first teacher that's going to explain to you what her first unit of inquiry was is Miss Bradley, who teaches kindergarten. and her first unit was Where We Are in Place and Time.
Hi everyone, I'm Miss Bradley. I'm the kindergarten teacher. So we are currently wrapping up our first unit called Where We Are in Place and Time. We started this unit by exploring what community means to us and asking questions about the topic. Using these questions and background knowledge, we then investigated time by creating timelines and conducting interviews to learn about the past. Student inquiry led us to exploring the seasons and weather and how the weather in Michigan is quite unique. So we're wrapping that up this week and next, and then after winter break, we'll move on to our next unit.
Mr. Buckley is currently our sub in Mrs. Zayak's class, who is a Titan. She graduated from Southgate, so she went off to have a baby. So Mr. Buckley is here to fill you in on what they did in first grade, which was the unit How the World Works.
Hello, everybody. In the first and second grade class, the students just concluded our first transdisciplinary unit, How We Organize Ourselves. We planned and conducted investigations on the effects of placing objects in the path of light. They created stained glass pictures and used flashlights to show how the light affected the images. The students also created musical instruments and found that sound was created by vibrating the materials they used. Finally, a classroom store was constructed using what we learned about goods and services. The students created their own form of currency, North Point bucks, using measurement, and then decided the worth of the currency as well as the goods that they were selling. The night culminated with the parents having the ability to purchase the students' stained glass pictures as well as their musical instruments, and it was a joy to be a part of it.
I messed up. Our next unit is How the World Works. I just got really excited. We did How We Organize Ourselves last. So Miss Service is our third and fourth grade teacher, and she's going to explain what they did.
Hi everyone, I'm Miss Service. I'm the third and fourth grade multi-age teacher. Our third and fourth graders spent the last several weeks engaging in an inquiry into the structure and function of organizations. We discovered relationships and connections between different concepts, including government, life cycles, and variations of traits. The inquiry cycle guided our learning as we asked questions, gathered information, organized our ideas, and created something to showcase our learning. Students worked very hard to make a poster, a slideshow, a book, or a board game to share their learning with others.
Thank you. All right, so we had a huge hope that these learner profile traits that we practice every day, which is a huge part of the IB, is that as we are teaching them and getting the students have hands-on and experience these in the classroom, that they would take them home and experience and exhibit them at home and kind of teach their families what they were doing. So this became a part of our daily language. So I reached out to the parents and said, hey, have you heard or seen any of these things happening with your students at home? So these are 5 of our friends that, all of them I'm sure do, but these ones got back to us with some pretty specific examples, which I thought was neat. So Lincoln is the little one in the corner. He has a little sister, and everyone with a little sister or brother knows how those relationships usually go. And he decided to really be a thinker and caring when it came to playing with his little sister at home. She wanted to play one thing or one way, and he had to kind of stop and say, I'm not going to fight her about it. I'm going to really take this in and change my way of thinking in order to play with her and get along. So when his dad said that to me at one of the family nights, I thought that was really important. And then Adriel is the next one. He is our curious one. He always asks questions and is curious about everything. So as soon as we tell him, wow, you're being really curious, or we love the questions that you're asking, he goes, yeah, I'm an inquirer. So that's one of our traits as well. This is Miss Mary in the middle. Mary's here. And Mary is on a soccer team, and she has been taking risks. She's been a risk taker on her soccer team to be a goalie, and I know her father is going to talk about that here in a little bit, but risk taker is one of her other traits, so we're super proud of her for doing that. The next one is Miss Rosalie. She has older brothers and sisters, and she's been practicing being caring as well. Her mom wrote to me that she's not one to openly give compliments or to be the first one to take on a task or a chore at home, and she's really been doing that due to what she's learning about being caring at school. So I thought that was pretty neat. And then our last friend here is Mr. Lucas, who's also here with us this evening. his dad gave me a really great list of some of the other traits that he has exhibited, which are being balanced. So he found a new love of cooking recently, but he also has his old loves of coding and gaming as well. So for him to find the balance in cooking with his mom and also doing the things that he likes to do in his free time by himself is great. And then he is also very knowledgeable when it comes to Spanish, which you'll hear him speak Spanish here in a little bit, and being open to speaking Spanish and talking Spanish to his dad at home, and then being a thinker, and I thought this was really great. His dad said that he's able to recognize potential differences before they arise. So for him to be able to identify that, figure that out, and then come up with a conclusion or what he's going to do next is a really great example of being a thinker. This is something that we're also super proud of. We started the North Point leadership team. We have some very ambitious 3rd and 4th graders. It's the biggest class that we have with big personalities, so we thought we'd put them to work. And when we came up with this idea, it was really neat because they took it and they ran with it. So we thought of the North Point leadership team to show how principled they are, which is one of our other leadership traits. And they wanted jobs. So our little staff, we're tiny but mighty over here at North Point, but we had a lot of things that some of us couldn't do all the time. So they came up with a list. Miss Service had me come in. We came up with all the things around the school that they thought they could help with or could be done. So we came up with this list of jobs. There's 12 different jobs. It's a long list. And they applied for them. So they had to turn in an application, pick their 3 top jobs that they wanted to do. They had to interview. So these kids came in decked out, ties, slacks, dresses, girls that I've never seen wear a dress before. They were ready. They dressed for success that day. They interviewed, and then they got to barter with me. So based on the job that they wanted, how long it was going to take them in their week, and how many times they were going to do that job a week, I said, you would get 5 leadership dollars. And they said, no, I think I need 10. So we went back and forth, and they know their worth. They signed a contract, and these yellow vests are the greatest investment of my life. They put these vests on, and accountability. They are accountable, and they take ownership of this school, and it's the coolest thing. So if you ever don't have anything to do at 3:15 each day, come by, watch our kids clean up our school, and they just love it. It's really cool. All right, Mrs. Senora Carrelu is going to talk about our Spanish instruction. All of our students get 50 minutes of Spanish every single day. So she's going to talk about that, and we're going to have one of our friends in a minute speak to you in Spanish, and Mrs. Carrelu is going to translate for you.
All right. Hola a todos. Soy la señora Carrelu. I had to start in Spanish, of course. I'm the unofficial translator for our district. So FYI, if you need translating, I'm the go-to lady. It's been a pleasure working with our students K4. So my little ones, my kindergartners, are fully immersed in Spanish. They, like Mrs. Jozuak said, 50 minutes a day, 5 days a week, religiously. We work on everything. It's more listening and speaking at this level. They do some writing and a lot of vocabulary, but the listening and speaking. So I get them engaged with singing, chants, a lot of call and respond and repeating. They work on everything, as you can see, from the alphabet, just conversational greetings, salutations, days of the week, months of the year, holidays and celebrations. We work on the cultural aspect as well, so I'm really trying to immerse them in the culture of Mexican descent, so I really give them a lot of my background knowledge to further their language exposure so that they know that we're a global society, they are global citizens, and so learning multiple languages will only make them more of a global citizen. So they are enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. This is really exciting. If you have, I'm going to invite you to my class. If you have an opportunity to come by and see my classes in session, you will be thoroughly enjoyed and impressed with them. Like I said, from kindergarten through the 4th grade classes, they are speaking. A lot of parents come in, they're always coming home, Senora Carrelu, telling me this and that and singing your songs, and that's that's what I want to hear. They're sharing their cultural experiences that we talk about and work on during our class sessions. So this is a great, great opportunity to bring to our district as far as the instruction in such the early levels as our elementary.
All right, we've got quite a few speakers that wanted to speak to you about their experience at the school. We could stand up here and tell you all night what we do, but I think it means a lot coming from them, that what they're experiencing and what they're living and what they go home with every day. So I'm going to invite my friend Jaden Baca up first to explain his experience and how he thinks he's doing at North Point. Want me to hold it for you?
Dear Southgate Board of Education, I really like North Point. It's a really good school. Here are some things I really like about the school. We can work at our own pace. We learn Spanish. We have family nights. We have a North Point leadership team. We have flexible seating. We have more hands-on. We have learner profile traits. And I want to thank all of you and Miss Irvine for getting the school to open back up. Trust me, this is no ordinary school. It's the best school. Again, I want to say thank you for opening the school back up. I'm glad I came.
Guided our whole presentation tonight, if you couldn't tell. All right, Miss Reaney.
Hi, my name is Miss Reaney, and dear Southgate Board of Education, I love how you made IB learning profile traits. This school is very nice and kind. That's why I love this school. This school is very organized. I love the word caring and kind. If I met you, you would be kind. You are very beautiful. You would be clever, too clever as a fox. That's how clever you are. You are as clever to make IB learning profile traits. Thank you so much.
All right, Angel is up next. Come on down, Angel. Angel is our school clown. He makes us all laugh, and we're so grateful for him.
I really like learner profile traits. The kids here are nice. Learning is so much easier. I like Miss J. I love my teachers.
Good job. Thank you. All right, I'm going to have my friend Lucas speak Spanish to everyone. Mrs. K is going to come up to translate for us.
Hola, junto de Educación de Portón de Sur. Me llamo Lucas y en mi opinión esta escuela es muy buena. I had to do that. Los rasgos ayuda mi personalmente. Me gusta el rasgo en los portales del alumno. Me gusta el sistema de dinero LPT Bucks. Gracias.
So in a nutshell, he's amazing. This is a fourth grader who's writing things I haven't even taught him yet. But that's what I was talking to about, where the students are going home and extending their learning. So they're asking their parents, can we, continue on at home? Can I learn this? He goes home and speaks all the time. So he was speaking about how he loves this school. He thinks it's great. He really enjoys the learner profile traits and getting to know each of those. His favorite is investigator. He also enjoys, we have something that's called LPT bucks, which the students earn if they display one of the learner profile traits. And we always make it a point to recognize those students, and at the end of the week, they're able to purchase something at the student store with their bucks. So yes, he goes above and beyond. He is amazing.
One more student write-in. Come on, Carrington. She joined us this evening and couldn't miss out on an opportunity, huh? Get it, girl.
To the Board of Education, I just wanted to say I love the Education North Point. I love the staff making new friendly friends.
All right, thank you, friends. It takes a lot for us as adults to stand up here. Can we give them one more round of applause? That was amazing. All right. Serena Mersdorf is my first parent to speak.
Hi. Switching schools was not an easy decision for me, but I can tell you that after COVID hit and the social anxiety my daughter suffered going to therapy, that being put into this school for just a few months has made her flourish. I've seen the light come back to her eyes, and I've seen her become more caring, more inquisitive, and just wanting to do everything that the school is all about. So to me, that was one of the best things as a parent, was she's becoming so much more than what she was stuck in the school that she was in.
Mr. B.
Well, these ladies can count in Spanish. Uno, dos, tres?
No.
What?
4, 5, 6.
Yeah, uno, dos, tres, one. They can actually up to 29. Do you want to count to 29? No. We come from Lincoln Park, and last year they attended Carr Elementary. I asked the principal, because over half of our students probably were foreign language speakers, Spanish speakers, about maybe our children learning Spanish. Unfortunately, it didn't go over well. And we're so happy that the Southgate School District has in fact adopted the IB program. I think we should give a round of applause to the Board of Education. Rick and everyone else, it took courage to do this in this environment. And I applaud you for having the courage to do something that actually involves things like international and diversity within the framework. So again, I think the Board of Education is extremely brave in doing this. Now, the good thing about these children is that they've been studying the IB traits, which includes kindness and caring. What that probably results in is that I won't be booed when I make a recommendation, that we actually have homework coming home with the students. I've had discussions about homework, and there's apparently someone with the IB program that right now is not having our children do homework. However, Alex, where are you? Here, come on, focus. This morning we had a discussion. She said that, and she was thinking, she said, Dad, watching the Michigan Learning Channel, how many from America are familiar with the Michigan Learning Channel? Anyone? Rick, where are you? Rick, no? Okay. No? Sorry to say. Okay, talk to Mary about this. but the Michigan Learning Channel is broadcast every day for grades kindergarten through fourth through the PBS stations. And the Learning Channel is something that we try to do at night. And Alex, did you tell me today that the Learning Channel interferes with your playtime? Yeah. So I hope that we can develop, I think the parents all want excellence. I think we want to enhance basic experience by encouraging after-school work. We're not only lifelong learners, but day-long learners. As Mr. Craig, you spoke earlier about the lifelong mission of learning here. And I think we begin right now. What I'm worried about is that unless we begin doing homework right now, later they'll say, well, it's cutting into my playtime. So again, I want to thank everybody, and also Danielle, Mr. Buckley, Ms. Service, Ms. Bradley, Senora Perelu. These are the hardest working teachers, I think, in the area, in the entire region. That they're working really for making this reality. And again, I thank you for taking the courage to have this program done over here. Thank you.
All right, our last parent. Come on up, Brittany.
Hello, my name is Brittany Colon, and I've been a Southgate School of Choice parent for over 7 years. Over the years, I've experienced highs and lows within the district. Last year, we contemplated leaving the district after being disappointed in watching my youngest son's education experience throughout COVID. As a family, we decided to give North Point a chance, and I'm so glad that we did. In just a short 3 months, I've watched a full 360 in my son's learning experience, and I couldn't be happier. He's so eager to learn and wakes up every day excited to go to school. So I thank the staff of North Point as well as the Board of Education for opening this opportunity for so many.
Thank you, parents. All right, you've heard from our students, our parents, and finally we'll wrap this up soon, but I have a couple of teachers that would like to let you know what it's like on the teaching end as well.
All right, I would like to take this opportunity to share with all of you my experience with IB from a teacher's point of view. This is my first year with Southgate, and I can't help but notice the difference in my students' level of engagement and excitement. Throughout our learning during our first unit of inquiry, I was so thrilled and amazed to witness each individual student's passion for learning as they explored their own pathway of inquiry. Another component of IB that I value is having opportunities to reflect on my own approaches of teaching and having the flexibility to modify the units as needed. I have always been reflective in my teaching and modified instruction to meet the needs of my students. However, IB has allowed me to take the time to reflect on my own learning and the experience of the learning I'm providing for students. These experiences aim to support students making and building connections with the content. I appreciate the opportunity and encouragement to continuously reflect on how to help students build those meaningful connections. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity tonight to share my experiences with you. There are so many amazing things happening at North Point, and I look forward to sharing more of our learning with you again.
I'm just going to take a moment to tell you about the collaboration happening at our school. So at an IB school, there's a learning community, and it's not just the students. It includes everyone in the school and everyone in the home too, so we really try to bridge the connection between school and home. So this means that families and teachers are just as involved in the learning process as students are. As a learning community, we are constantly learning and adapting through collaboration with each other. As teachers, we have dedicated planning days where we co-design our units of inquiry. It's such an incredible experience to have so many professionals working together to design an engaging learning environment to benefit all of our students. We collaborate with our students by using their interests to lead our learning experiences. Students collaborate with each other both in and outside of grade levels. My kindergarten students have also collaborated with home community members by conducting interviews for their timeline project that they did. So at North Point, we truly believe that collective knowledge is crucial to cultivating an engaging learning environment for all. As you can tell, I'm very excited about the work we're doing over at North Point, and I really hope that you are too after hearing from all of us.
All right, so moving forward, we have a couple of things that we just wanted to let you know about. Our academic proficiency, we have a lot of strengths. We did some assessments recently, and we have some significant growth when it comes to letter and sound recognition for our littles, comprehension when it comes to our bigs. We are super excited and hope to come back and share with you our NWAA data in January, because we are really expecting, just from what we see every day in our classrooms, to see some really great growth. We do have a wait list for next year going already. Our kindergarten is already at 9 students, and then we have some sprinkled in, a total of 15 so far. We are going to continue to have consultations with our IB consultants that come and visit with us and help us build these units and continue to grow our knowledge of the IB. And then we are completing, we talked about our units earlier, we're planning on completing 3 this year and 3 next year so that we're ready for our authorization come 2025. And we have this QR code up here. If you have anybody, know anybody, cousins, friends, sister, dogs, friends of the yard, anything that you want that might be interested in an opportunity like this, please scan the code. Please send them this Google form. I'll reach out to them right away. We're open for tours. Like I said, you can all come in and see what we have going on anytime you would like. We just want to share the love that we have for this little community that we've built. So thank you all for letting us speak today. We appreciate you. Miss Irvine, my friends have a gift for you.
Watch, just don't trip on it.
No, he's got it.
Yeah. It is cold in here. It's cold. It is a little bit. Next is the presentations. Oh, that's cool. The shirts.
Nice. Good job, Jaden.
You can put that on now.
Are we ready for the next meeting?
Yes.
All right. All right, the second presentation we have tonight is the Fall Athletic Titan Awards.
Yes. Thank you to all of our families who've been waiting patiently. Thank you so much. It's exciting to have another season in which we had remarkable performance from our athletes. We had a fantastic fall, and I have nothing but great things about our coaches and our staff and our students and athletes. And now we're going to hear from our Anderson High School Athletic Department and Davidson Middle School Athletic Department to tell you who earned Titan Awards and made records.
It's on. Okay.
I'm Kendall McVicker. I'm your athletic director, and thanks for being here tonight to honor and recognize your students. We're going to recognize our Titan Award winners for our fall sports. First, we'll do Anderson High School, and then we'll do Davidson Middle School afterwards. After that, we'll recognize our record breakers and regional qualifiers. So a little bit about the Titan Award. You may have heard about it. But the Titan Award is an award given to, it's one player on each team that exemplifies sportsmanship. We understand in athletics that it's not all about winning, and the leaders that we have out there are really what develop our teams and our sports and move us forward. So the people who will be honored tonight show just that. So just a few things that these students have so we know. These students exemplify Titan pride by showing selflessness, sportsmanship, commitment, honesty, positivity, toughness, work ethic, teamwork, focus, perseverance, and exemplary behavior in school. It's also important to note that these are the team members who set a good example for others and exhibit the greatest all-around attributes of leadership, character, and teamwork. So leadership seems to be a theme tonight. So what I'm going to ask is I'm going to read off all of our award winners. We have a few that aren't here. They're actually down the street playing basketball, but I don't want to leave them out tonight because this is such a prestigious award. So once I say your name, if you could please come up and we'll have you get on stage so we can get a picture. So for tennis, we have Sean Bono. For volleyball, we have Abigail Juco. We also have Madeline Garner. And Maya Fell. For soccer, we have Rogelio Herrera. For football, we have Keegan Jackson. We also have Jonathan Hankin. And Carter Cochran. For girls golf, we have Eliana Cecil.
All right.
For sideline cheer, we have Selena Shakur. And Lexi Johnson. And for cross country, we have Lena Hales. So these are our Fall Titan Award winners for Anderson High School.
And now we're going to recognize our Davidson athletes, and as we do that, I also we wanted to also thank the coaches. We have a couple coaches in the audience that came to see their athletes and support them. So we wanted to thank, I saw Stephanie McNeese is here, Mackenzie Irvin, who are our volleyball coaches at Davidson. I saw Coach Colette Norcia, who's our cheerleading coach. A lot of our coaches are doing double time as teachers in our amazing schools also. And we have a lot of coaches that are doing double time coaching winter sports too. Okay, so in sideline cheer for Davidson, we have Ava Mills, who is not able to make it today. Olivia Jamie. McKenna Segrist. Our Soccer Titan Award winner, and this is a co-ed team, is Mariah Crump. She was a tough goalie in a league full of boys and girls. Our cross-country boys Titan Award winner was Colin Godbout. And our girls Titan Award winner for cross-country is Charlie McKay. And our football Titan Award winner is Luke Willis. Our 7th grade volleyball Titan Award winner is Caitlin Peevler. And our 8th grade Titan Award winner for volleyball is Haley Blair Maltese. And these are our Davidson Titan Award winners for our fall season. And I'm going to ask Charlie McKay to join me for a minute, please. And you guys can sit down. Thank you very much. So besides being our Titan Award winner, Charlie is getting another recognition tonight. Charlie set a school record in cross country this year. She set several actually, and then she kept shattering her own school record. So at the end of the season, her personal best was 13 minutes and 1 second for the 2-mile cross country middle school record. So congratulations, Charlie. We are looking, and we get one more year with her. And then we look forward to a great future as a Titan runner.
All right. For the high school, we are going to recognize quite a few athletes that were able to break records and qualify not only for regionals but also states. These individuals, each and every week, kept on working and putting in the time, the effort to achieve the goals that they set. And when we go through each of these individuals, if you can, we'll have you go up on stage too, and then Charlie, you can join them after, and we'll take a picture with all of them. But this first one that we are recognizing is Ella Manor. Right here. Ella broke the record for most points in a 6-dive sequence with a total score of 202.35 and also qualified for regionals in diving. Next, girls cross country. Each and every week, we were shattering records and breaking personal bests, and we had an individual that was able to qualify for the Division I state championship, and that individual is Sparrow Centeno. This individual is actually playing in a basketball game, and I'm going to go through this season. The next three actually are for varsity football. Having a season that they qualified for the playoffs for the first time since 2011, obviously there were quite a few record breakers. This individual broke 4 different records in football this year. Tackles in a season with 92, sacks in a game with 5, sacks in a season with 9.5, and 18 rushing touchdowns on the season. And this individual was a junior, and he will be back with us next year, and that is Chase Barbosa. This next individual broke a total of 3 records, one being the most receiving yards in a season with 817, most completions in a season with 43, and most receiving yards in a game, and that was 217 yards against Wyandotte. And this individual is Colin Thomas. Next, in order for an offense to work, you need someone to quarterback that offense and throw the ball to someone to break receiving records and hand the ball off to get rushing touchdowns. This individual, as a sophomore, broke 2 records, one being the most completions in a single game with 18 against Wyandotte, and with the total yards in a single season with 1,993 yards, and that is sophomore Jackson Sage. So as a true testament to all of these, Charlie, if you could please come up here too, with the hard work that each of these individuals did and accomplish not only as a team, but through the efforts of being part of that team to set a goal, to try to achieve that goal over and over, and also to accomplish something that is truly special. And we definitely congratulate all of you.
Just as we wrap up, do we have any band members here tonight? No. Okay. So just to wrap it up, I wanted to thank all of our coaches for all their hard work this season. Obviously, this would not be possible without them, but I also want to give a shout out to you parents. It does not go unnoticed that you're at every practice and every game cheering on your students and our teams. And you're what makes the Titan Awards and these record breakers. So thank you so much, and give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and take a 5-minute break before we move on to the next item on the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
There goes everyone. I'm parked down on the street for nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, good. All you're going to do is just talk about it. Yep. And just kind of say what the bottom line is. Maybe some, just how the revenue went up, how the expenditures, and then what the fund capital is, and how that changed, and then just do assumption.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was getting a little panicky when he had all the lights off again. She was trying to present. I'm like, I can't see my. That happened last. For my nose to start.
Take care. Thanks for all your help.
That was like.
I appreciate everything. So sincerely. Talk about it over a drink. Friend? She really.
Is it? Oh, I thought you were joking. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
I cleared out quick. Whoops.
The big ones need to get in bed.
I know these big ones.
I'm in that group.
We all have them.
I don't think so. The new lady is like in her young 40s. I looked up her picture. She's long blonde hair.
Kendall, we'll need that for public comment.
4 people in the audience. This is
maybe. We need to get light the thing on fire. It needs to be spread.
Like a big deal.
If you talk to the teacher, they're one who put the things together with rubber bands and popsicle sticks. They need much more money, much more support. Right? It was a trial.
Who has all
You
these
guys are
items? Do you have any?
those teachers
Do I have a few?
making it happen, but
is that our thing?
Yeah,
Our neighborhood.
They opened up 275 two lanes.
Heard the fellow gentleman, Phil.
So I was driving southbound, the 2 lanes were open on Friday. What's happening?
And when
And then northbound, they
he's a
were 2
serious,
lanes open.
when he saw it, I don't even know
Goodness.
how we heard about it, because I don't think we told him. But that's the kind of advocate you need. Yeah. I mean, you just heard what the kids are saying. Kids that age don't say that stuff. Right.
Just like old times, Robert, just you and us.
Yeah, I think he's the one who can talk.
Yeah.
They know you can hold down the fort. Their confidence in you is
Yeah.
striking.
Everybody knows he's gonna hold the weight of the auditorium, Robert.
North Point. Hey, North Point. Your students were amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was great. The teachers were okay, but the students. Yeah, Jaden was flawless.
Yes. Did you see his tie?
Pardon me?
Did you see his tie?
Oh, not today, but he often wears them.
He had his little tighten on there.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's definitely made an impact on him. I know just from reading his mom's posts, on social media.
All right, we ready?
We are ready.
All right, we'll get back to it. Next item on the agenda is, Next item on the agenda is citizens' comments. Mr. Flosky.
Fix this here. Good evening. My name is Robert Plowski. I live at 12757 Chestnut Street here in Southgate, and I'm a member of the Wayne County Commission Youth Council representing District 15. Today, I'm coming into our last meeting of the year, so I've got this speech ready to go for you guys for the past 2 weeks. I'd like to honor all of our students that really pushed a lot this year, from our sports teams, from cheer to football to volleyball to robotics, everything in the book. They worked their hardest this year. We have made so much progress in the last year under Sharon Irvine's administration. We've made investments in our pool. We've made investments in our football field. We made more investments more than in the last decade. And plus now we have a past sinking fund millage that I worked tirelessly over and over to make sure that our district has the right investments and the city and the citizens have their support for it. So it's not just a team effort. I'd like to thank our Board of Education, our students for all the progress they put into their teams, their schoolwork, the amount of Titan pride that we've had this year. It's absolutely amazing. We made the playoffs, and unfortunately we didn't win, but it showed a big sign. We are on the rise, and that's one of the biggest things for this district. And speaking of North Point, our presentation this evening, that was absolutely wonderful that you guys did. I give you a lot of credit for that. They are changing what we see in this district. We're having new programs, and a lot of school of choice students are coming. I spoke with parents and students up in Oakland County, up in the Birmingham area, and they were just surprised at what our district is doing, and they want to pull their kids out of Birmingham. That's absolutely amazing. They're willing to come all the way out of their county boundary to come to our school and show their Titan pride. That's absolutely amazing. Speaking of that, I have a meeting with them in a couple weeks. So it's going to really be exciting. We're just making those investments. We're making progress. And one of the folks I'd like to honor, and really good friend of mine, Mark Kramer. He was a school board member from 2015 to 2017. He spent his time effortlessly going to school board meetings and wanting to get involved with his county government. He is a true leader, and he wants to serve his district. It's not just our people that want to serve on our school boards that put time and effort to come on an evening to show pride for their district. It comes from everybody, and Titans have really changed. I've lived in this neighborhood for almost 17 years. On Friday, I'll be 18, so it'll be 18 years going on. It's a huge step in our district, and this Board of Education has really fulfilled that dream, and Ms. Irvine has really done a great number in this district. Don't let your Titans turn you down. That pride is still there. Once a Titan, always a Titan. And I look forward to great things coming into 2023. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak tonight? All right. Seeing none, we'll go ahead and close the citizens' comments. Superintendent update.
I don't have any updates today.
No update. Okay. Brings us to item H, which is the consent agenda that consists of minutes from the November 22nd, 2022 facility workshop, regular meeting, and closed session, the HR update, and the November 2022 disbursements. I'll entertain a motion on the consent agenda.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Okay, I have a motion by Dr. Pomponio. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Mr. Green. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Action item number 1, the approval of the fiscal year 23 first budget amendment. Ms. Wilson?
Good evening. You should have received the updated packet for the first amendment to the 2022-23 budget. And I'm just going to go over some of the general operating budget changes or the overview. There should also be a written out copy of that. As you look at the general operating fund budget, you will see in the proposed amended column in the revenues, some of the changes that we've had are under local revenues, additional $218,525, which is based on an increase in the value of the non-PRE taxable dollar amount. And there are state sources of affected by the foundation allowance increase of $50 more per pupil based on the actual state award over what we had projected at the original budget on June 14th of 2022. We have an additional increase of 109 pupils over after fall count is in, so we have an additional increase there, and that also affects our state revenue. And then scrolling or going down into the expenditure column, that's basic instruction. We have additional enhancement dollars that have been allocated to athletics, curriculum, and maintenance in this expenditure column here. We have a transfer of $2 million to capital projects or another MyLEF account representing one-time savings through ESSER 3. We have an hourly EL specialist to reduce EL service caseload. We have added in an addition of a student dean at Asher. We have the addition of a 1.0 12-month administrative assistant, which would provide enrollment and technology each with full-time support. We also have the addition of 2 kindergarten teachers to reduce class sizes. And overall, you can see the projected cumulative balance is $6,324,086, and this works out to a projected general fund balance as a percentage of 2021-2022 expenditures of 14.3%, according to board policy. Are there any questions?
Anyone have questions? Dr. Pomponio.
What percentage are we over the general fund for our overage? Like, is there 11%, or what percentage are we at right now?
I'm terribly sorry, I couldn't hear what you said.
What percentage are we over as far as our general fund goes, like in a standing for 5-10%?
Do you mean the board policy is 10%?
Okay, yes, the 14.3, okay, thank you. Also, for the millage dollars, is that in here? For
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there's not a change to that. We're still expecting only about 75% of what we received in the past because of the law change to include PSAs.
Yeah. So when does that usually get deposited after the summer and winter taxes? What months?
I'm sorry.
I think she's referring to the sinking fund millage, is that correct?
No, the millage
Oh,
from the tri-county.
for the enhancement, okay.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
I don't know if I can speak any louder.
No,
The tax dollars that comes out for the summer and the winter taxes, when does that get sent to us, or when does that deposit happen?
I'm sorry, we assess only in the summer, so we see our tax dollars, tax revenue coming in generally between August and October is when we
Okay.
get the bulk of it.
Okay, thank you, that's all I have.
Any other questions? Okay. Bring it back to the board for discussion and entertain a motion on action item number 1.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the first budget amendment for fiscal year 2023 as presented.
Okay, I have a motion by Dr. Pomponio. Is there support?
Support.
Supported by Mr. Lamas. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion passes. Okay, action item number 2 is the approval of the Smart Boot installation Phase 2.
Yes, in June, the Board of Education approved Phase 1 of the installation of the Smart Boot. This was the installation phase that included the boot itself, critical mapping, and placards. The connectivity of the Smart Boot was not approved at that time, so we weren't sure we were going to do, how we were going to afford it the first round, and that is a big reason why the sinking fund push was there, so that we could complete the project. In November, we did pass that sinking fund millage, and we'd like to go ahead and connect the installation of both phases 1 and 2 at the same time. Our plan is to have Davidson Middle School completely installed and ready to go by next Friday. They say they can do it. They were here today finalizing that mapping. They're going to be here in the afternoons or evenings and weekend to get that done. And that means that we'll be able to provide training to our staff in a fully live environment with everything connected on the 23rd of December in the morning. So we're excited about that opportunity, and we'd like to go ahead and approve that second phase.
Any questions for staff?
Yes.
Dr. Pomponio.
So what was involved in the first phase again?
The first phase was the actual boot itself, which was the 5-pound weighted boot and the installation of those. There was no connectivity to it. It would have just been the actual material itself, and the boxes would be there as well. They would also go through the hallways and have them color-coded with all the placards that were there, as well as the classroom mapping for safe areas. Phase 2 then was installing the connectivity piece, all the tablets for every teacher, the lights in the schools, the connections internally through the closed circuit, so that it actually triggers the alarms that it's designed to trigger.
Okay, so I don't see it here in my packet, but I did get the breakdown through email, and I do have some questions. I don't know if there's someone to answer that, but I do have a question about the training. How long is that? Because there's a cost to it, and I was just wanting to know if that's a year or if that's ongoing.
They provide the training, and it is part of this cost.
Okay.
So they will provide both training to staff as well as training for students.
Okay, and so when they're installing everything, the installations, is it one software that's programmed for each building that they have to do? Is it a long process? Because that's a big price tag too.
It is a significant price tag. The circuit is a closed circuit, so there is not any connection to our infrastructure. It's all completely operating autonomously through their own circuits.
Okay. And I probably asked this question before, but is there a warranty attached to it? Like with the software, the servers, if things break down? Or
Yeah,
is there-
they will stay connected to us indefinitely. They also they will have us on a maintenance cycle where they replace, I know that he spoke about the batteries that would need to be replaced ongoing, but they will be there for the service as needed.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Sage.
just one thing with the training. So these generally are for the internal doors, correct?
Yes,
Not any external doors?
correct.
So during the training process, just the staff are reiterated about the external doors?
Right, being closed and
That's-
at all
yeah,
times,
that's-
right, right,
Thank you.
yes.
Anyone else? Right. Seeing none, I'll bring the discussion back to the board, and I'll entertain a motion on action item number 2.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve Phase 2 of the Smart Boot installation for an amount not to exceed $714,474.03.
Okay, I have a motion by Dr. Pomponio. Is there support?
Support.
Supported by Mr. Green. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Action item number 3 is the approval of the purchase of ABI equipment.
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and pass this over to Jason.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Jason Hardy, Director of Operations with Southgate Community Schools, and I'm bringing forward some equipment that we would like board approval on to help us maintain and renovate the baseball fields, the softball fields, football practice fields, soccer fields, playgrounds, and more. We have the staffing, and now we're looking to add some equipment to our staffing to do the job efficiently and effectively. So we have done research, and I've included a package here for each of you. And we've researched and priced 3 different options for your approval. Option number 1 is the ABI Force. It's called the Z23SL machine and attachments. So the ABI Force has been on the market for almost 10 years. The specific model that you see, I've attached pictures, is since April of 2019. And this machine is now in thousands of facilities, including 10 Major League Baseball fields, countless minor league affiliate teams, and new football stadiums. They're currently in South Bend, Indiana, but they're working on a partnership with a dealer in Michigan, and they'll be based out of Grand Rapids. Notable facilities that own the ABI Force currently are Northville Parks and Rec, Owasso Public Schools, West Portage Little League, Warren Consolidated Schools, Millwood Little League, Meyer Sports Complex, City of Rochester Hills, City of Livonia, City of Farmington Hills, Macomb Township Parks and Rec, and Grand Blanc Parks and Rec. I've also called for references on this machine, and we had a past coworker that worked for Grand Blanc Parks and Rec, and they use this machine to maintain 18 ball fields and practice fields. So the machine, just since 2019, they've sold 700 of these units. The warranty on the chassis of the machine and engine is 3 years unlimited hours, and the warranty on hydraulics is 1 year unlimited hours. Is up for option number 1. I've attached the machine and the attachments that come with it. We've listed here for a total of $45,130.50. Option 2 is a similar machine by Toro. It's called the Toro Sand Pro 6040. Now this machine was just released last year, so it's actually this year, 2022, so it's been on the market for less than a year. So ABI is leading the market on this equipment and the attachments. The warranty on this machine is a 2-year limited warranty. The Toro Sand Pro and attachments are included here for a total of $51,063.95. And option number 3 I have for your consideration is using our existing John Deere tractor and adding all the attachments that are listed for the other 2 machines, which is different manufacturers and different warranties, and that's for a total of $50,107.95. So it is our recommendation that the Board of Education approve the purchase of option 1, the ABI Force, and the attachment for a cost not to exceed $45,130.50. Now let me end by saying that this would come out of the bond, the fixture, furniture, and equipment budget, and not out of the general fund.
Okay.
Any questions?
Okay, Pomponio.
I just want to say thank you for the detailed information and all the homework that you did on
Yes.
this.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Sage?
Yeah, agreed. This is perfect. A lot of detail was well done. Where are we gonna store it at?
So, currently, you know, we're gonna store it at the Heinzman building, but we gotta move out, so we're not gonna let this machine sit outside, it'll be indoors, along with the rest of our equipment that we need to store, during the process.
Thank you.
Yep.
Mr. Loomis?
So if money weren't an object, would you still make the same decision, or is there another system or unit that you would have chosen?
I would absolutely make the same decision because the attachments are gonna take up less room. So the attachments go with the machine versus the tractor, and the price is right, I believe. And it's a good, warranty on it. And we, from our other district, we work with a gentleman that came from Grand Blancs Park and Rec, and, that's all they use for 18 different fields. So we've done our research, and I'd recommend it again, even if money wasn't the option.
Sure. And then the operator, do we have an operator, or is there 50 people that can operate this properly, or?
It's going to take some training. The machine itself is like a zero turn, but a stand-up. So they're going to come out and train us how to use the machine and the attachments along with the package, and I included the quote and delivery and all that. So I'm not going to let just anybody on the machine. You got to be properly trained to use it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Other questions?
Anyone else? All right, bring the discussion back to the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead and entertain a motion on action item number 3.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the purchase of ABI equipment, option 1, as presented, for an amount not to exceed $45,130.50 from the 220 bond program.
Okay, I have a motion by Dr. Pomponio. Is there support?
Support.
Supported by Mr. Sage. Any discussion? I'm going to go ahead and say that we've already acknowledged that maintenance is an important thing. We need to maintain what we have, and this is steps to do that. And I look forward to seeing some of these things maintained by us and not relying on other people to not maintain them, if that makes sense. So, with that, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion passes. Thank you very much. Action item number 4.
Yeah, good evening. The Student Council at Anderson High School would like to do a student leadership conference, or would like to go to a student leadership conference in Grand Rapids in late February. This is a wonderful opportunity for student leaders to work alongside and network with other student leaders. And so I recommend that we allow them to go.
Okay, any questions for staff? All right, seems pretty straightforward, so we'll bring the discussion back to the board, and I'll entertain a motion on action item number 4.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the Anderson High School Student Council Leadership Conference field trip.
Okay, a motion by Dr. Pomponio. Is there support?
Support.
Supported by Mr. Estheimer. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that motion passes. Okay, it brings us to discussion. Any discussion? Any employee representative?
No.
All right, information announcements from the board. Dr. Pomponio.
Just want to wish our staff and Titan families a happy holidays and wonderful new year. I want to thank each of you for all that you do. It's very important to continue to let you know that your work makes a difference for each of our students. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Mr. President?
Mr. Green.
I'd like to take this moment to acknowledge Mr. Estheimer. Mr. Estheimer has served this board for 6 years. Personally, I can say that I knew Tim before he ran for the school board because of efforts and businesses in the the business Primo's Pizza in Downer area, but quite by accident, we didn't even know that we both ran the same year 6 years ago, and tried to and teamed up in that election and did again. He has served this community or this school district to the utmost as the president, as a member, fighting for what he believed in, visiting schools, putting himself out there over the past 6 years, and it was a pleasure working with him. And personally, we agreed on a lot of things and disagreed on some things, and he even hung up on me a couple times. But overall,
Connection issue.
what's that? Overall, I got to know him very, very well, and I know his heart's in it, and he definitely was a pillar for the movement in the positive direction in this school district in the last 6 years. And so, this nice plaque for him, Southgate School Board, from all of us, that says, recognize Timothy S. Timer for his dedication, leadership, and service to the Southgate Community School District, 2016 to 2022.
Thank you. President, I'd like to take a couple minutes to read through some notes here.
Sure.
And bore you a little bit more. Thank you very much, Mr. Green. Yeah, you and I started this journey together. I was on a vacation in Florida visiting my wife's grandma, and he called me and said, "What do you know about the school board thing?" And that began our journey together. But I just want to take a few minutes to say thank you to my fellow board members. I knew that eventually at some point I'd have to write a speech like this, and I just had hoped it would be 6 years later. But, the voters spoke, and it is what it is. So I just want to thank you all. I worked with most of you side by side for the past 6 years. In that time frame, we've been through a lot, COVID, of course, being the biggest. To be the first board president in history, let alone the first board to meet remotely and navigate a pandemic, was a challenge that we all achieved together. We've done an incredible amount of good work together for this district. We have a beautiful turf football field here at Anderson. Next year, we have a new natatorium, housing our new swimming pool and weight room. We've seen many improvements to all our facilities district-wide. We have buses now, as mentioned, picking up students for the first time in several years. We have a brand new option for our parents that you heard about tonight with the IB program. It's the first ever in this area IB program, and we're very proud of that. So thank you to this group. Our level of work, diligence, and professionalism extend beyond this boardroom. I made lifelong friends in this group, and I'm proud, very proud of the work that we've done together. This board's main function, as you know, is to hire a superintendent. Since elected, I've seen 3 and hired 2. All were outstanding in their own rights, but I believe our district is in great shape with the hiring of Superintendent Irvine. Her leadership has allowed us to soar in ways that we only dreamed of, but always aspired to. So thank you, Sharon. We really appreciate your leadership, professionalism, and love for our students and schools. 2 other very important functions as a board we're charged with is to oversee the education and safety of our children. First and foremost, and thanks to the help of the voters, we'll soon be able to be a little bit more safer with the installation and the approval tonight of the second phase of the Smart Boot. It's a revolutionary security feature that will be present in all of our schools. Beyond Smart Boot, however, student and staff have always been top priority for myself and this board over the past 6 years. We've made many improvements in this area thanks to this board. We now have a direct link with the police department as they can access our cameras remotely in emergency situations. Our relationship with Southgate Police, though, goes beyond newly improved cameras and security entrances. We also now have a dedicated resource officer in our schools and highly trained security personnel in our schools. So I'm confident that this board will continue to hold student and staff safety as a top priority. Student engagement, curriculum changes, and the overall education of our students is not in the board's and the superintendent's hands now, but Assistant Superintendent Lindsay will be charged with the maintaining that level of education that this district expects and deserves, and we have the utmost faith in you, Mr. Lindsay. COVID presented many problems in the areas of growth, as we see from the recent testing results, but I'm confident that this board and our outstanding administration will tackle this head-on, and we'll see noticeable results in the near future. Thank you also to the many parents that I've met, followed, and became friends with, some who were here tonight. Watching their children grow has been one of the highlights of my life. Those that I started when they were kindergarten when I started, first grade, they've made me so proud. Not returning to office, I will no longer be able to hand them that diploma, but I promise to be there on graduation day as a cheerful and proud spectator. I want to say thank you to the voters. Yes, you heard me correctly. Thank you for 6 years of that trust. Trust by passing a bond and now the sinking fund. With this, the district and its improvements could not be done without you and the trust that you have given in the board. So thank you very much. And I'm happy to pass the baton now, knowing that this board now has the funds available to accomplish these important tasks that lie ahead, some of which I've mentioned. Special thanks to the teachers, support staff, coaches, administrators who I've met along the way. I appreciate you and your work. And lastly, thanks to my family. My wife, Nicole, Jake, and Jillian have been gracious in sharing me with this community for the past 6 years. Although only 2 meetings a month, my service extends to a nearly everyday commitment on some level and in some capacity. Having served as a trustee, board secretary, vice president, and president, whether I was advocating for education in Lansing, attending a teacher training, visiting schools, cheering on our student athletes or a debate team, and attending various award ceremonies and each and every graduation ceremony, or even taking in the occasional PTO meeting. I want to thank them for allowing me to seek and hold this office and be part of this community, this local community. I grew up in Allen Park, so I was connected to the Allen Park schools, but now that they got me, as Mr. Robert Plowski said, once a Titan, always a Titan. My kids were 5 and 6 when I took office, and now they're almost teenagers, and I still manage to coach all my son's teams and attend every dance for my daughter, but it still feels as if my family were the ones that made this commitment and sacrificed much more than myself, so thank you to them. The current board and its newest member, Ms. Angel, I'm eager to see your work and the plans we made come to fruition in the coming years, and I'll be on the sidelines cheering you on, and will always be Titan proud. Good luck, and thank you. And Mr. President, I would like to make a motion to adjourn. Oh, no, we got to go into closed session.
Sorry, right, yes, we have one more item on the agenda here.
I'll make a motion to enter in closed session for the purposes of Section 8(1)(c) of the Open Meetings Act, collective bargaining.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Estheimer to go into closed. Is there support?
Support.
Supported by Dr. Pomponio. To do a roll call vote, Mr. Estheimer.
Yes.
Mr. Freitas.
Yes.
Mr. Green.
Yes.
Mr. Lamas.
Yes.
Dr. Pomponio.
Yes.
Mr. Sage.
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, we are in closed session. We will not be returning for the TV audience, but we will be back to adjourn the meeting. Thank you.